Hello everyone, your favorite night owl here with his Savage 11 Scout. Talk about Know Your Rifle. Before we get started, this is part of the Riflery 101 series. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out the link below to my Subscribe Star account. Just a $2 monthly donation, help a small creator out. Alrighty then, we have our feline assistant ready. And let's get on with it, shall we? This section can be broken down into 3 effective parts, which consist of 3 questions. First question, of course, is the particular role you need the rifle for. Then, ask about the features and how they add or subtract to fulfilling that role. Followed by, do I feel comfortable using this rifle in that role? We'll start with role. Role will be hunting, of course, defense, which can be broken down into 2 sections. Defense against 4-legged problems and defense against 2-legged problems. This can be followed by competition. Hunting, as previously stated in a prior video, determines on approximate weight of animal and approximate distance you intend to take said animal. A 400-pound target at approximately 200 yards is well within the capability of a .308 rifle, particularly the Scout rifle. Then you have to take into account other matters as well when it comes to defense. 4-legged problems have their own considerations as compared to 2-legged. For example, a bolt action is most effective against 4-legged problems, although a secondary concern with drilling, of course, is well within the capability of a bolt gun for defense against 2-legged problems, but it's not ideal. For 2-legged problems, you really want to be looking at a semi if they are available. If they are not available, a compact, lightweight bolt action such as the Scout rifle is well within those means. Then you have competition. Well, then you have to consider what kind of competition are you in. Are you in long-range shooting, close-range tactical, or a wide variety of competitions on the market? You have to take those into account. Also, what rounds and rifles are permitted in that competition, because there can be restrictions in your state, country, or just in your local municipality. Alrighty then. Let's move on to the second question. Features and how they add or subtract. To answer the first question, I got this for defensive purposes. Of course, with 4-legged as the primary concern as compared to 2-legged. As such, a bolt gun is perfectly acceptable. So, there's also a matter of the features at hand. With this particular hunting sling, along with standard, just simple 2-position slings such as this, you have to take into account that there's a lot of advanced positions and techniques you can use with your sling that are not applicable to this sling type and setup. Alrighty then. There's the count of the cartridge in question. As I'm more concerned with 4-legged animals, of any usually around mid-size to potentially some larger ones, .308 seemed like a very good choice for me. And the Scout rifle being fairly compact and lightweight, and even in this lightweight package, I find .308 to be a not very hard recoiling round. Thus, it seemed like an ideal cartridge for my needs. You have to look into the bolt. Of course, this is a bolt gun, so there are matters to take into account there. there will always be a issue with rate of fire when compared to a semi. Semi-autos will always be able to fire a lot faster than a bolt gun. However, with drilling, you can cut down the difference in speeds fairly respectably. As further, the features of this rifle, moving back further in stock at an adjustable comb, which I have adjusted to make it relatively quick to transition between iron sights and the main optic. However, that does leave me in the situation that it's not particularly set up in an ideal position for either or. The nice recoil pad, which I felt was unnecessary, but a welcomed addition. Nice stippling, and moving up, nearly bypassed the optic there. This has auxiliary iron sights which are currently sighted into 200 yards, and an optic suitable for short-range hunting in a 1 to 4 power Vortex Crossfire 2 optic. Nice little eye relief scope I picked up, although I did get an addition of a little end cap for it. The auxiliary iron, the main optic is sighted into 300 yards. Moving up, it does have a muzzle brake. Now, I predominantly considered it for property defense, considering that the property includes the yard as a whole, so I would mostly be carrying this rifle outside. The muzzle brake isn't that bad of an option, although the muzzle brake on this particular rifle does not seem to be the most efficient. In fact, you could probably remove it and it wouldn't really affect the rifle's performance very much. Again, I do not feel .308's very hard recoiling round. Now, in a particularly light package, as some of these short barrel rifles you might, for some reason, have available or another, then the recoil might become a bit of an issue, although the recoil would probably be less of an issue compared to the sheer muzzle blast, another thing enhanced by that muzzle brake. Alright, and then moving on down to the magazines. These are sold as 10-round magazines, but I've yet to find one that feeds reliably with all 10 rounds. Something to take into account. This is a filled one that is filled to 9 rounds, which is the max it will reliably feed from. Oops, nearly had a slip of the tongue there. This is an empty one, in case you want to see what that looks like. You have to take into account how does it load, because, moving on back here, this rocks in from back to forward, much like an M14 magazine. Well, if you have an AK platform or another type of rifle that uses one that rocks backwards, you hook it in the front and it rocks back. That is another thing you should take into account. A lot of individuals are used to being able to load like an AR, just straight on in. However, not all rifles lock their magazines in that way. The magazine release is just this little old tab up here. Just pull back on it and it should release. It's fairly quick to load once you get used to the whole rock-in system. With an 18-inch barrel, getting into barrel length, you lose some of the performance of that .308, but not a lot, especially considering the primary concern is short-range defense against animals and potentially as a hunting rifle, of which most animals around here are in the mid-range, well within the range of that .308 in a good hunting load, even out of an 18-inch barrel, or say the shorter 16-inch barrels you see with a lot of scout rifles and other compact bolt guns. There are other rounds on the market, including bolt guns and 7.62x39, another cartridge I really like, especially for short-range hunting against low end of medium to smaller game, the upper end of small game. Cool beans, cool beans. These features, combined together, create a good choice for what I was looking for, and thus why I got this rifle. And I haven't looked back since, with that nice adjustable trigger, which came from where I bought it at a good pull weight, is fairly nice as well. Didn't have to adjust that. This was a very good option for me, so I did enjoy it. And it was fairly affordable. Alrighty then, quick channel news, like, share, and subscribe, and I will be continuing to upload, of course, these IRL videos to my BitChute account. And then, I will also be uploading streams to my YouTube account. Although the streams have been getting a bit longer, and it is mostly for Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2, and just in case you are interested. Alrighty then. Thank you for your time. Check out the link below to my subscriber account for just a $2 monthly donation. Help a small creator out. See everybody around.